March 25, 1996. The 68th Academy Awards. Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. Los Angeles. The biggest night in Hollywood. Every star. Every director. Every legend. All in one room. Dressed in tuxedos and gowns. Cameras everywhere. 1 billion people watching worldwide. Al Pacino sits in the third row. Aisle seat. Wearing a classic black tuxedo. Looking composed. Confident. Calm. Next to him, his wife of 2 years, Diana Caldwell. Beautiful. Elegant. Smiling for the cameras. They look perfect together. The legendary actor and his stunning wife. Hollywood royalty. A power couple. Everyone thinks they're the ideal marriage. But in exactly 47 minutes, that image is going to shatter. On live television. In front of 1 billion viewers. And Al Pacino is going to do something that nobody expects. Let's rewind. Who is Diana Caldwell? She's not an actress. Not famous. She's an art gallery owner. Sophisticated. Cultured. Met Al at an exhibition in 1993. They connected over art. Over conversation. Over shared values. Or so Al thought. They married in 1994. Small ceremony. Private. Al Pacino, who'd avoided marriage his entire life, finally took the leap at 54 years old. Because he thought he'd found someone real. Someone who loved him, not the fame. Not the money. Just him. For 2 years, it seemed perfect. Diana traveled with him. Supported his work. Attended premieres. Played the role of devoted wife. Al was happy. Truly happy. For the first time in decades. But here's what Al didn't know. What nobody knew. Diana was living a double life. And it was about to be exposed. On the biggest stage in the world, back to the Oscars. 7:45 p.m. The ceremony is in full swing. Awards being given. Speeches made. Musical numbers performed. Al Pacino sits there. Watching. Clapping. Smiling. Playing the role of attendee. His phone vibrates in his jacket pocket. Strange. He told everyone, no calls during the Oscars. This is live television. 1 billion viewers. You don't answer your phone during this. But it vibrates again. Insistent. Urgent. Al glances at Diana. She's watching the stage. Not paying attention. He discreetly pulls out his phone. Looks at the screen. Text message. From his accountant. Mark. The message says, Al, call me immediately. Emergency. Don't wait. Al's stomach drops. Emergency? What kind of emergency? Medical? Financial? Legal? He leans over to Diana. Whispers, I need to step out for a second. Phone call. Diana barely glances at him. Just nods. Eyes on the stage. On the cameras. On the performance of being Mrs. Al Pacino. Al slips out of his seat. Walks up the aisle. Past rows of celebrities. Past cameras. Out into the lobby. Quiet. Empty. Everyone's inside watching. He calls Mark. 3 rings. Then, Al, thank God. I've been trying to reach you for hours. What's wrong? What's the emergency? It's Diana. Your wife. I don't know how to say this. Say what? Mark, what's going on? Long pause. Then, there's been unusual activity on your accounts. Large withdrawals. Transfers. I flagged them. Did some digging. And Diana's been transferring money. Hundreds of thousands. To an account in the Cayman Islands. Al's blood goes cold. What? That's impossible. Diana doesn't have access to. She does. You gave her signing authority last year. Remember? For household expenses. Emergency access. And she's been using it. 4 months. Moving money. Systematically. I didn't catch it until today because the amounts were small enough to avoid automatic flags. But when I added them up, we're talking $800,000. Gone. Al can't breathe. Can't process. His wife? Stealing from him? 4 months? There's more, Mark says. Voice heavy. I traced the account. It's not just her name on it. There's someone else. A man. Ricardo Mendez. And Al, they've been booking trips together. Hotels. Vacations. All paid with your money. And there are photos. Lots of photos. I'm so sorry, Al. She's been having an affair. For at least a year. Maybe longer. The words hit like physical blows. Affair. Stealing. Lying. For a year. While Al thought they were happy. While he trusted her. While he played the role of devoted husband. Where is she now? Al asks. Voice hollow. According to credit card records? She's supposed to be with you. At the Oscars. Al looks back toward the theater doors. 1 billion people watching. Diana sitting in his seat. Smiling. Performing. Playing the role of faithful wife. While robbing him blind. While betraying him. Mark, send me everything. Photos. Bank records. Everything. Now. Al, what are you going to? Send it. Now. 2 minutes later, Al's phone lights up. Email. Attachments. Photos. Diana and Ricardo. On a beach. In Paris. In bed. Intimate photos. Timestamps. All during times Diana told Al she was visiting family or on a business trip. Al stares at the photos. His hands shaking. Not from sadness. From rage. Pure, white-hot rage. Because it's not just the affair. It's the lie. The performance. The calculated theft. The year of deception while he trusted her. He could walk away. Could handle this privately. Could confront her tomorrow. After the Oscars. Away from cameras. Away from 1 billion viewers. But something inside Al Pacino breaks. Because she's in there right now. Sitting in his seat. Using his name. Playing the role of Mrs. Pacino. On live television. In front of the world. And Al Pacino. The method actor who's played gangsters and criminals and violent men, he snaps. He walks back into the theater. Past security. Down the aisle. Cameras are on the stage. Nobody's filming the audience. Perfect. He reaches his row. Diana sees him coming back. Smiles. That fake smile. That lying smile. Al doesn't sit down. Instead, he stops directly in front of her. Blocking her view of the stage. Al, what are you? Diana starts. And then Al Pacino does something that stuns everyone. He holds up his phone. Shows her the screen. The photos. Her and Ricardo. In bed. Diana's face goes white. Absolute shock. Horror. Caught. Stand up, Al says. Voice low but firm. Now. Al, I can. Stand. Up. Diana stands. Trembling. The people around them starting to notice. Something's wrong. Something's happening. You have 10 seconds to walk out of this theater, Al says. Loud enough for nearby rows to hear. Loud enough for celebrities to turn around. To watch. Or I announce to 1 billion people exactly what you've been doing. Your choice. Diana's eyes water. Al, please. Not here. Not now. Let me expel. 8 seconds. Diana looks around. Cameras. Celebrities. 1 billion viewers. Her face crumbles. Because she knows. She's caught. And Al Pacino, the man she underestimated, he's not backing down. She grabs her purse. Starts moving toward the aisle. Rushing. Heels clicking. Trying to escape. But Al Pacino isn't done. As she passes him, he says. Loud enough for everyone nearby to hear, the Cayman Islands account. $800,000. Ricardo Mendez. Close it by tomorrow or I press charges. The words carry. Celebrities in nearby rows hear it. Their faces change. Shock. Understanding. The gossip starts immediately. Whispers. Gasps. Diana runs up the aisle. Out of the theater. Gone. And Al Pacino? He sits back down in his seat. Adjusts his tuxedo. Looks at the stage. Face calm. Composed. Like nothing happened. But around him? Chaos. Whispers spreading like wildfire. Did you hear what he said? She was stealing from him. 800,000. Who's Ricardo? The cameras don't catch it. They're on stage. On the presenter. But everyone in the theater saw it. Every celebrity. Every insider. And by the time the commercial break hits, the world will know. March 25, 1996. 8:32 p.m. Oscar ceremony. Commercial break. The theater erupts. Everyone turning around. Whispering. Pointing. Looking at Al Pacino sitting alone in his seat. Empty chair next to him where Diana was. The scandal spreading through the room like fire. Celebrities lean across aisles. Did you see that? His wife? 800,000? She was stealing from him? Who's Ricardo Mendez? Jack Nicholson, sitting 2 rows back, leans forward. Taps Al on the shoulder. Al, you okay? Al Pacino doesn't turn around. Just nods. Eyes forward. Face stone. Like he's carved from marble. No emotion. No reaction. Just calm. The calm of a man who's already made his decision. Already acted. Already moved on. The ceremony resumes. Cameras back on. But backstage? Chaos. Producers scrambling. Did something happen in the audience? Why did Al Pacino's wife just run out? Should we cut to commercial? What do we do? Nobody has answers. Because it happened during a commercial break. The cameras missed it. But everyone in that theater, every celebrity, every insider, every Hollywood power player, they saw it. They know. And by the time the Oscars end at 11:30 p.m., the story will be everywhere. 11:45 p.m. Oscar afterparty. Vanity Fair celebration. The most exclusive party in Hollywood. Al Pacino doesn't attend. Goes straight home. No interviews. No photos. No comments. Just leaves. But at the party? Diana's absence is the only thing people talk about. Where's Mrs. Pacino? I heard she left. I heard Al confronted her. About what? Cheating. Stealing. Both. The gossip spreads. Mutates. Gets bigger with each retelling. By midnight, the story has transformed into, Al Pacino exposed his wife for stealing $1 million and having an affair with a European count at the Oscars in front of everyone. Reporters start making calls. Sources inside the theater confirm. Something happened. Diana left. Al stayed. Nobody knows exactly what was said, but it was bad. By 2 a.m., entertainment journalists are working the story. By 6 a.m., it breaks, March 26, 1996. Morning. Headlines everywhere. Al Pacino's wife flees Oscars amid cheating scandal. Exclusive, Al Pacino confronts wife at Academy Awards over alleged affair. Pacino's marriage implodes on Hollywood's biggest night. Every major outlet. Every tabloid. Every entertainment show. The story is everywhere. And because it happened at the Oscars, in front of 1 billion viewers, even though cameras missed it, it becomes the biggest celebrity scandal of 1996. Photos emerge. Diana and Ricardo Mendez. On beaches. In hotels. In Paris. AL's accountant leaked them. Proof. Undeniable. Public. The media tears Diana apart. Gold digger. Thief. Liar. How could she betray Al Pacino? But here's what surprises everyone. Al Pacino's silence. He doesn't give interviews. Doesn't release statements. Doesn't appear on talk shows to bash his wife. Just silence. Stone cold, absolute silence. His lawyer releases one statement: Mr. Pacino is handling a private matter with dignity and through proper legal channels. He requests privacy during this difficult time. That's it. No drama. No crying on camera. No revenge tour. Just silence and legal action. Behind the scenes, Al Pacino is moving like a chess player. Calculated. Precise. Ruthless. Step 1. Freeze all accounts Diana has access to. Done within 24 hours. Step 2. File for annulment. Not divorce. Annulment. On grounds of fraud. Claiming the marriage was based on deception from the start. If granted, it's like the marriage never existed. No alimony. No settlement. Nothing. Step 3. Hire forensic accountants. Trace every dollar Diana moved. Build ironclad case for criminal charges if needed. Step 4. Contact Ricardo Mendez's wife. Yes, wife. Turns out Ricardo is married. With 2 kids. Living in Spain. And he had no idea his girlfriend, Diana, was actually married to Al Pacino. When Ricardo's wife finds out, she files for divorce. Ricardo loses everything. His marriage. His business partnerships. His reputation. Destroyed. Al Pacino doesn't gloat. Doesn't celebrate. Just executes each step. Methodically. Like Michael Corleone taking down the 5 families. Except this is real, April 1996. 1 week after the Oscars. Diana's lawyer calls for a meeting. They meet at Al's lawyer's office. Diana shows up. Sunglasses. Hat. Trying to hide. Paparazzi camped outside. Cameras flashing. She looks destroyed. Weight loss. Dark circles. The public shame has broken her. Al Pacino sits across the table. Stone-faced. Doesn't look at her. Just stares at his lawyer. Diana's lawyer speaks. Mr. Pacino, my client would like to apologize. She made terrible mistakes. She's willing to return all the money. All of it. And she'll sign any agreement you want. Just. Please don't press criminal charges. Please don't destroy her completely. Al Pacino doesn't respond. Lets the silence sit. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Finally, Al speaks. Voice low. Controlled. I trusted you. I gave you everything. Access to my life. My money. My name. And you didn't just betray me. You planned it. 4 months. Systematically stealing while playing the role of loving wife. That's not a mistake. That's calculation. That's evil. Diana starts crying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was stupid. I was. You were caught, Al interrupts. That's the only reason you're sorry. Because you got caught. In front of 1 billion people. And now you want mercy? Please, Al. I'll do anything. Here's what you're going to do, Al says. Cold. No emotion. Pure business. You're going to sign the annulment papers. You're going to return every penny. Not just the 800,000. Every penny. Including the jewelry I bought you. The car. Everything. You're going to sign an NDA. Never speak about me publicly. Never sell your story. Never profit from this. And you're going to disappear. Change your name. Move to another country. I don't care. But you're going to vanish from my life completely. And if I do all that? Diana asks, voice shaking. Then I don't press charges. You don't go to prison. You get to start over somewhere else. Under a different name. With nothing. But free. Diana looks at her lawyer. He nods. Take the deal. It's more than fair. She signs. Everything. Annulment. Return of assets. NDA. All of it. Within an hour, it's done. Diana Caldwell ceases to exist as Mrs. Pacino. Like the marriage never happened. Al stands. Walks out. Doesn't look back. Doesn't say goodbye. Just. Leaves. That chapter of his life closed. Permanently, May 1996. 2 months after the scandal. Al Pacino gives one interview. 60 Minutes. Diane Sawyer. It's the most watched interview of the year. 30 million viewers. Everyone wants to hear Al's side. His feelings. His pain. Diane Sawyer asks the question everyone wants answered. Al, how did it feel? Finding out your wife was betraying you. At the Oscars. In front of the world. Al Pacino pauses. Thinks. Then answers with brutal honesty. It felt like being stabbed. But here's the thing about being stabbed. You have 2 choices. You can collapse. Cry. Play the victim. Or you can pull the knife out, stop the bleeding, and survive. I chose survival. But you confronted her publicly. At the Oscars. 1 billion people watching. Why not wait? Handle it privately? Al's eyes harden. Because she was sitting next to me. playing the role of faithful wife. On live television. Using my name. My reputation. While robbing me. While lying. And I thought, no. Not here. Not on this stage. She doesn't get to perform anymore. The curtain falls now. Some people said you were cruel. That you humiliated her. She humiliated herself, Al says. Voice firm. I just held up a mirror. Showed her, and everyone, the truth. And if that's cruel? Then truth is cruel. But it's also necessary. Do you regret it? The way you handled it? Long pause. Al considers this. Really considers it. No, he finally says. Because I handled it the only way I could. With clarity. With strength. Without falling apart. Could I have been quieter? Sure. Could I have waited? Maybe. But in that moment, sitting there, knowing what she'd done, knowing she was performing next to me, I couldn't sit there one more second. I had to act. And I did. And I'm at peace with that. What would you say to Diana now if you could? Al Pacino looks directly at the camera. Speaking not to Diane. But to Diana. Wherever she is. Watching. I'd say, I hope you learned something. I hope this was the wake-up call you needed. I hope you become a better person. But you'll do it without me. Without my money. Without my name. You're on your own now. And that's exactly what you deserve. The interview ends. 30 million people watched. And the consensus? Al Pacino handled it perfectly. With dignity. With strength. With stone-cold clarity. He didn't play the victim. Didn't cry on camera. Didn't beg for sympathy. He just told the truth. And moved on, the aftermath. What happened to everyone? Diana Caldwell disappeared. Changed her name. Rumored to be living in South America. Never gave interviews. Never sold her story. Kept the NDA. Vanished completely from public life. Ricardo Mendez, divorced by his wife. Lost his business. Reputation destroyed. Last known location, Barcelona. Living quietly. Avoiding publicity. Al Pacino, career exploded after the scandal. Not in spite of it. Because of it. Because people saw his strength. His refusal to be a victim. His stone-cold handling of betrayal. Offers poured in. Donnie Brasco. The Devil's Advocate. Any Given Sunday. The Insider. His 50s and 60s became his most successful decades. More money. More respect. More legacy than ever before. And his love life? He never married again. Never. Learned his lesson. Had relationships. Had children with partners. But marriage? Never again. Once was enough. Once taught him everything he needed to know. 2020s. Al Pacino is 80+ years old. Occasionally someone asks about 1996. About Diana. About the Oscars scandal. His answer is always the same. Brief. Final. That was a long time ago. I was betrayed. I handled it. I moved on. End of story. Do you ever think about her? No. Because thinking about people who betrayed you is giving them power they don't deserve. I gave her 2 years of my life. She doesn't get one more second of my thoughts. What did that experience teach you? Al smiles. Sad but wise. It taught me that trust is the most valuable thing you can give someone. More valuable than money. More valuable than your name. And when someone betrays that trust, they don't deserve a second chance. Not from me. Not from anyone. Betrayal is a choice. And choices have consequences. I chose to walk away. She chose to destroy her life. We both got what we deserved. Do you believe in forgiveness? I believe in moving on. Forgiveness implies the other person deserves it. Earned it. But you can move on without forgiving. You can let go of the anger without giving them absolution. That's what I did. I let go of Diana. But I never forgave her. And I never will. And I'm perfectly fine with that. The betrayal at the Oscars. The stone-cold confrontation in front of Hollywood. The billion viewers who didn't see it but heard about it. The revenge that was swift, legal, and permanent. This is the story of how Al Pacino handled the worst betrayal of his life. Not with tears. Not with public breakdowns. But with strength. With clarity. With stone-cold precision. He didn't play the victim. He played the survivor. One night. One confrontation. One choice to stand up instead of break down. And that choice defined him. Not as a man who was betrayed. But as a man who refused to be destroyed by betrayal. That's the Al Pacino people remember. Not the one who married the wrong woman. But the one who handled it like a boss. And that's worth more than any Oscar.